Hey everyone, Todd here, internalarchitect.com. In this video, you're going to learn what CBD is. Now, I have a list of stuff here that I just wanted to make sure that I got in order so that I can actually explain it correctly. Probably a lot of this has to do with the chemo brain that I continue to have, because I just don't have the best memory, and it's easier for me to write stuff down to make sure that I present it the correct way and make sure that I cover the things that I really want to share with you. Yeah, CBD. Now, what is CBD? Now, CBD is a cannabinoid. Cannabinoid, that sounds like one of those crazy movie monsters. It's a cannabinol that is based off the cannabis plant. Now, there are over 100 different types of cannabinoids that the cannabis plant has, but CBD is the second most prevalent one within the cannabis plant and what it can do. The first one is more known, and that's THC. And that cannabinoid is responsible for what makes you feel the euphoria, or what they say, the high. And because of that, cannabis has really taken on the stigma of being kind of a bad plant or a hippie plant, essentially, because it gives you that feeling of euphoria. CBD literally is the second most recognized cannabinoid behind THC. And there are more and more studies being done, not only in the US, but also worldwide, that is really starting to bring a lot of interesting data to the table, which is really cool. I want to kind of get into a little bit of history, a little bit of knowledge of what is going on with cannabis right now. Now, medical marijuana is legal in 29 states, including Washington, D.C., which is, in a lot of sense, which is really cool, because our nation's capital has legalized medical marijuana. So the people are speaking about this, which is really, really cool. I think it's one extra little step to giving patients and even survivors that extra thing that they can choose from. And that's what it's all about, I really feel, is choice. Now, due to the statistics of cancer, with so many people having been diagnosed and dealing with cancer and being survivors and having dealt with cancer in their life, it's no wonder that patients are looking for a better way to deal with this. And recreational sales, are really starting to become more prevalent within the United States. I want to also touch on a little bit of quick history here. This whole movement started in the 70s and 80s when cancer patients started reporting relief from chemotherapy. And I also touched in this in the video that I just made, where to buy CBD oil. Also, AIDS patients have reported relief from this, from wasting syndrome, which is really, it tells you that there's something really positive going on with what CBD and THC can do for not only cancer patients, but also AIDS patients. And we're also seeing a huge increase in the effectiveness for what it has done for epilepsy patients also. In today's ages, we're seeing stories and accounts, more and more of these accounts of what CBD is able to treat and the side effects of all these different diseases in all different ages, which is really, really cool. So it's giving us a lot more options outside of just the traditional norms of the medical community. But because it's a Schedule I drug and it's classified as a Schedule I drug in the United States, very little has been done to study cannabis in humans. Now, what I was saying before is at least we are starting to see more and more studies being done outside of the US where this schedulizing of this plant is not so restricted, right? And we're seeing these studies being brought to the medical community with a lot of really talented doctors and a lot of science to back it all up. And that in itself is really, really cool and really promising. Part of these studies they're coming out about the anti-tumor effects, and the research is really, it's really awesome to see this research being done. And I guess I wish the United States would kind of take the forefront of this research, but because they are bound by their own rules, we're being left in the dust because of this. So these findings are super exciting for the medical marijuana industry and the community, and for what it can do for the medical industry outside of your traditional treatment. So I really find this kind of exciting and stuff too. So at this point, CBD is a medicine that is being used in a lot of different ways, and I can vouch for myself that CBD, I don't know so much about the CBD side of it, because when I was going through my treatment for lymphoma, medical marijuana was a bigger part of it, and CBD hadn't really taken off yet. And now CBD is really becoming a huge factor in what it can do for cancer patients and for helping the side effects of what survivorship also happens to be too. There's studies being done on what it can do for PTSD, and that in itself is really huge for just the pure amount of mental awareness and just dealing with the pure amount of mental health that needs to go on with cancer patients also. So I think it's very exciting to see more and more effort being put into cannabis and what it is doing for, thousands of people that are able to have access to this. Now, something I think is really, really, really important, and one of my followers, Lisa, brought this up, is that not everyone can use cannabis. They might be allergic, and it's really important to have this conversation with your doctor. Your doctor may or may not feel obligated to let you do this or not or whatever, but at the end of the day, it is also your choice. But you need to know this, and it's super important because you don't want to have this allergic reaction like Lisa did. And I think because of this, it is very valuable to get to know a little bit more about what cannabis is and how it can affect your treatment or your survivorship directly after all your treatment as a new survivor. So take a little time, do a little research on what cannabis is, do a little research on what CBD is, and you will start to understand how this might affect you in the long run, positively or negatively also. Like I said, I'm a huge proponent of what cannabis is, even though I don't smoke or use CBD, mostly because of what my job entails. I am still a huge proponent of it. I used cannabis throughout my treatment, which helped me stay focused in eating and helped really relieve all the chemotherapy side effects. And I can't say enough good things about it. And I only wish that I could be on it now if it wasn't due to the Schedule I side of our government and drugs. So I could go into depth about all that way too deep, and at the end of the day, it's not so important. But if you like what you hear, give me a thumbs up and give me a like, and share this with other people that you might know that really could use this. If you have any questions, hit me in the comment section below. And I just want to say thank you for your time and your energy in watching the videos and helping me build the channel to help other people, other survivors, with dealing with survivorship, because it's not an easy thing, and it's just want to say thank you for all you that watch this. So again, have a great evening, and I will see you on the next video.